Hey everyone, it's awesome to see you. As always, I'm glad that you are here, and I also hope that you are doing well. Today, I had hoped to have a drum video for you. A couple of weeks ago, and I'll post the video up here, I had mentioned that I was working with a drum loop and was also working with a new mic setup, a new drum configuration, and in those precursory recordings, I was listening back and going, ooh, you know, I need a little bit more work on that. So I have been doing that, and this week, early, I thought, okay, now I'm going to go into the studio and I'm going to hit the record button and I'm going to knock this thing out. So I have a video, drum video for today. And after about an hour's worth of playing, I was feeling pretty good about what I what I was performing, and I went back and started to listen to it. And I'll be doggoned if something still was not quite lining up. You know, it's not like I was playing brand new grooves or something that needed more work. These were certain things that I have played many times over, and I thought, man, something is just not clicking. Something's not right, and I immediately thought, well, it's me. I suck. So I got so frustrated, I shut down my studio. I went out to my backyard. I grabbed my pipe. I light up a bowl, regular tobacco, and I thought, I'm just going to drown my sorrows and escape from all this by watching TikTok and getting lost and laughing at some kitty cat videos. And, you know, I actually did that, and then a couple videos went by, and I just stopped my phone and I said, okay, enough of that. I want to figure out what's going on. I want to take this on and figure it out. So, of course, the first question that I asked myself is it you? You know, are you just having a bad day? You know, everybody's got them in the studio. You know, did you sleep enough diet-wise? What's going on? Did you warm up enough? Blah, blah, blah. And the thought is, okay, maybe it is me. The second thing that dawned on me was like, well, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the loop. And I thought, well, I hadn't thought about that. The loop is something that a human had done. You know, it's pre-recorded. And even though it's supposed to be in time, it could be that the percussionist was a little loose with that time. And that can make it more difficult to line things up with a click, a metronome, which is what I have been working with in my studio. And I thought, okay, well, you know, that's a possibility. And then the third is that maybe I just recorded the thing wrong. In other words, it's not me, it's not the percussionist. When I sat down to record the loop, I was hitting a pad to trigger it, and I was supposed to be hitting on one. I'm following the click in Pro Tools, but what if I anticipated one a little bit too much? All right. What if I was a little loose and came after one just a little bit? Well, that would make the time a little funny, and I do recall having to adjust some things because it appeared that things got a little off kilter. So maybe that, you know, possibly that. And I thought, okay, what are you going to do then? You know, what can we do differently? And the thought was, well, maybe I put a melody line to it. Maybe I get behind a keyboard or a guitar or something and find a melody that is the exact same rhythm of the beats that of the percussion loop. Well, that's kind of interesting. And then I could actually quantize the melody line if it was on a keyboard, say, and see if things are askew, see how bad things might be. Well, then the next thought was, all right, well, I've got 3 different sections to this percussion loop. You'd have to come up with 3 different melody lines. And the thought was, well, I can do that too. That wouldn't be any different than coming up with a verse, a bridge, or a chorus. All right, so now all of a sudden I've got a plan of action. I'm feeling much better about the situation. And the next day I came into the studio with some renewed hope. And within 15 minutes, I had written the song from beginning to end. Now, is it Dream Theater? No, absolutely not. Probably more like Romper Room. But it's mine, and and I found the melody to be a bit fun, and it actually gave me some great joy to be able to accomplish something like that. So I'm not going to knock it too much. Anyways, the whole thought here is that there were some lessons learned in all of this, and it has to do with maybe perceptions when encountering roadblocks in life. And this doesn't have to be musical roadblocks. This could be any roadblock. And the first thing is to not be too hard on yourself. All right. So often, at least from my vantage point, you may not be like this, but when encountering difficulties in life, sometimes the first thing I do is, okay, what am I doing wrong here? And it may be that I am doing something wrong. Self-accountability is important and helps us to grow as people. All right, I'm not saying to lay the blame elsewhere always. But what I am saying is that there is a difference between self-accountability and self-deprecation. All right, and self-deprecation is not a good thing, and that's to be avoided. And then the second thing is when encountering a roadblock, is to make an assumption that every challenge might have something better to offer. Now, there's something to be said about perseverance and not quitting and pushing through. Sometimes that yields wonderful results and is exactly what's needed. But then there are other times, like this past week or two, where I have just been butting my head up against a brick wall and going nowhere and just getting discouraged and getting saddened by it, that no matter what I try, it doesn't seem to work. Well, then the thought is, okay, I need to take a step back from this and I need to reassess. Because sometimes roadblocks, I think, are from the universe saying, hey, I actually have something better in mind for you if you'll just take the time to listen. Which brings me to the third point, listening, and not filling our lives with stuff to the point where we can't hear. We've got a great world, it's got its share of problems. It offers some wonderful distractions. Smoking and drinking and television and computer and phones, and not that there's anything wrong with these things in and of themselves, but it is to say that when we run into roadblocks, when we run into challenges, if we are constantly running to those things and drowning ourselves in them, we're going to escape from our problems for a while. We're going to find some happiness even in those things, but here's the thing, it's going to be fleeting. And moreover, it's going to distract us to where we wouldn't be able to take some time and some space to address those problems head on and to listen. We risk joy. I was just joyful the next day when I came up not only with a new part, but also, just to be able to have a new paradigm was suddenly cool. And things like that can last a lifetime rather than happiness. So there's a difference between joy and happiness. Maybe that's a subject for another video. So I'm not sure who needs to hear this today, if anyone. But the acronym here is BAG. So if you are running into roadblocks in life, think about BAG. B would be to be kind to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be accountable, not self-deprecating. A would be to assume that when encountering roadblocks, that there is a better outcome somewhere. All right, just a good practice to get into. And then G would be also to give yourself some space to reflect, to think, to pivot, to maybe come up with a new plan. So there you have it. If you'll excuse me now, I'm going to head back to recording and try to get this song knocked out. Again, if you're here today, thank you. It's always appreciated. Hey, if you wouldn't take a moment to leave a comment or to subscribe, that would be awesome. It definitely would help to get the word out with this channel, and also would definitely help with the algorithm. Thank you for that, and you all take care of yourself. Until next time, light and love to you all. Bye now.